guys. Yeah, now the mic is working, correct. Really excited to see you all here.
Before I start, can you guys raise your hands if you already know me? Okay, that's a lot of people. Maybe people who don't know me should raise their hands. Okay, that's a significant amount also. So let me start with a small introduction. I'm an Indian YouTuber and educator with more than 30 million followers on YouTube and 16 million on Instagram. I have a channel on education and explanatory videos. I also have my online course academy. And just to give you an idea of the kind of videos I make on my channel, it's basically all kinds of topics. It's any kind of educational topics, science, history, current affairs, news, politics. I make videos on all these things. But the story I want to tell you today is my attempt at doing something different. Most of the people present here are creators. Some of you have an audience, some of you are building an audience, and some of you dream of doing more than content one day. Because at one point, every creator asks themselves, how do I turn this into something real? Not just views, not just brand deals, but something you own, like a product, a company, or a system that works even when you're offline. Well, this is exactly what I tried to do. 4 months ago, I launched my first startup. And I learned very quickly that building a business is very different from building an audience. This was the video where I launched the startup, a bit of a clickbait title. But just to give you an idea of what my business was about, it was a simple idea. You know, nowadays we have so many different AI models from ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, Perplexity, Grok, and all of these different AI models. One day, Gemini is the best model. The next month, ChatGPT comes with a better model. The next day, Claude comes with a better model. So my idea was, why not have one place where you can get all these premium AI models in one chat at a price cheaper than one subscription. And this is where the idea for AI Fiesta was born. The concept is very simple. The business model makes sense. Like, you pay $20 a month for ChatGPT Plus subscription. You pay $20 a month for Google Gemini, $20 a month for Claude, $30 a month for Grok. So only if you add all these top 5 or 6 subscriptions, you end up paying $110 a month. This was a problem that I was also facing. And then we decided, why not have all these premium AI models in one app for just $12 a month, which is cheaper than any of these one subscriptions. And this is what we built. So this is how the interface looks like. You ask a prompt, and you can have all these different AIs. There can be up to 10 different AIs answering your one question all at the same time simultaneously. So you can always choose the best answer for every question that you have, and you can compare the answers. Before I move on to tell you what happened after we launched, there is something I want to tell you if you're thinking of, starting your own business. And this is something which I've always believed in. If you are starting your own company, you need to find a real problem and then find a solution for that problem. Because what most people do is they think that, oh, I have this idea, I want to build a business, I want to build this company. Let me build it on this idea. But this is the wrong way of doing it. And this, I believe, is more like you think of a solution, and then your solution is trying to find a problem. But instead, it should be the other way around. Encounter a problem, and then look for a solution for that. And this is how I came up with this idea, because this is something that I was facing in my personal life also, that, all these different AI subscriptions, better to have one app, and this is when I built it. So I launched this 4 months ago, and then this happened. The whole internet was flooded with videos like this, calling my new startup a scam. Some were calling it a scam. Some said it was misleading. Some said it was a cash grab. There was hate coming from all sides, trolling everywhere. And You might ask why that happened. Of course, there was many reasons for it. Some of it was our mistakes. Some of it was misunderstandings. For example, one of our mistakes was we did not clarify exactly what the token limits were, and people thought the token limits were very less, for example. Another reason was a communication gap. One of the biggest reasons was that when people went to purchase the product, because of the launch video, there was a huge traffic coming into this app. And at one point, there was like thousands and thousands of people trying to buy the subscription of this app, and the payment system crashed. People paid for the app, but they did not get access to it. So of course, how would you react if that happens? You would think that there's some serious bug here. But what happens is that when people don't understand something, they don't give you the benefit of the doubt, especially when you're at this level. They instead believe it is your intent to do that. So when the payment crashed, people paid for it, did not get the service. They assumed that this is how I intended it to be, and that's how they assumed it was a scam. And then what happened after this? So many people not getting what they expect, not getting the service. All of them would, in mass, send emails to our customer support. So there was thousands and thousands of email coming in our customer support inbox. All of the people saying, I paid for this, I did not get it, give me a refund, this is a scam, blah, blah, blah. So within 2 days, we had at least 5,000 emails in our customer support. And to make things worse, what happened after this is this. ChatGPT, right after we launch our service, they decide, okay, we are going to launch a cheaper subscription plan, but just for India. Initially, it was $20 a month. We decided to say that, okay, we'll give you all these AIs at $12 a month, and then ChatGPT 2 days later comes and says, actually, just for India, we'll launch an even cheaper subscription plan at only $5 a month. And that wasn't it. In a few weeks, ChatGPT says, actually, not even $5, have it for free. For the next 12 months, they're like, we'll give it to you for free, this ChatGPT Go subscription. So it's a lot of headache. 10 years of content creation had not prepared me for this. There's problems from all sides. There's payment issues. People are not happy. People are calling it a scam. And on top of that, there's like the competition is giving away their AI models for free. The question is, how would you deal with all this? And before I tell you how did we deal with all this, I want to tell you 2 things I learned in the process. The first thing is that I cannot emphasize how important it is to have the right person to work with. My co-founder and the business side of things is handled by my partner who's standing over there. And, all I can say is, if I did not have him, I would have no idea how to handle this. It's so important to find someone who is in sync with you and supporting you in the bad times and the good times. It's going to be, by the way, it's going to be really hard to make a business alone. If you're thinking that you're a creator and you're going to build a company all alone by yourself, it's basically impossible, because there's so many day-to-day affairs of making a company. There's like the customer support, there's the product development, there's HR, so many things you need to manage. So it's almost impossible to do it alone, but with the wrong person, it could be a complete disaster. So that's why this is very important, finding the right person to work with, someone who can handle the business side of things, while you as the creator is managing mostly the marketing side. Now, the second thing I learned is that something will always go wrong. No matter how prepared you are, something will always go wrong. And you might think, listening to this story, that maybe we were underprepared to handle all this, but trust me, from our end, we had a checklist. We had double-checked that checklist. We had triple-checked all our things. It's just that there's so many different things that can go wrong that something will eventually go wrong. It's a bit like trying to make your first YouTube video. You always try to think, it's my first video, it should be perfect. But it will never be perfect, because it's your first attempt at doing that. So just like in your first YouTube video, that something will go wrong, the same thing is true for your business or your company, that on day one, something will go wrong. So it's better to be mentally prepared that something will go wrong, and I will handle it. So the more prepared you are, the more quickly you will accept the failures and move on. Now the question is, coming back to the story, how did we handle all this? Well, the first thing we did is obviously acknowledge our mistakes. We tried to solve all these payment issues as quickly as we could. But again, there was like 5,000 emails in the customer support inbox. We had to get creative. What we did was we hired a temporary team of 10 plus people just to answer the customer queries. And these 10, 15 people, they sat down day and night for the whole weekend, answering all the emails one by one until over the weekend we were done with answering all the queries. At the same time, all the server crashes that happened, we fixed that. The product development team helped to improve it as quickly as they could. We also built an AI chatbot to answer our customer queries. So after the first weekend, up to 40% of the customer queries were solved by our AI chatbot, which reduced the workload a lot. But most importantly, we communicated everything to people as transparently as possible. This was the second video I made after that first attempt. And immediately, we increased our token limits by 10 times. We added new features, what people expected out of us. The product development team was working day and night, and within 1 week, we had these changes. I made another video 1 month later where I explained the whole story in a more detailed way. I explained why things went wrong, how they went wrong, and what we did to manage them, and how we're trying to work on this. And the conclusion here is that it's so important to be transparent and authentic to your audience, because as a creator, this is all you have. Trust is your most valuable asset as a creator. And this is what I kept believing in, and I learned over this process. And for the next 2 months, I was transparent about everything with my audience. We told them every feature update we had, we were making videos on that, updating everything. We course corrected, admitted mistakes, and moved on quickly. And because of that, slowly the reviews started improving. And I think after 2 months, you could see positive reviews coming on in the Trust pilot. The customer support improved. People were very happy with this. And we even did like customer calls. So this was my idea that every week we'd randomly pick 20 customers and go on a call with them to understand their desires, their pain points, and their needs. And you might think that, as a creator with 30 million subscribers and tens of thousands of people are using the app, what difference does it make if there's like, I'm talking with 20 people? But this is all the difference it makes. I understood the needs of customers. I understood what they wanted. And this I could only understand by talking to them on these small calls. And then I also understood that customer satisfaction should be your #1 goal. As a company, you're not building a company for yourself. You're building it for the customer. And I truly believe that if you work on giving the best product, the best experience for your first 1,000 customers, they will like the product and they will become your marketing channels for the future. So we kept doing this for months. We kept learning and heads down building. We kept providing new features. To give you an example, I think in the last couple of months, we also added a consensus feature. The problem, many people said, there's 10 different AIs, 10 different responses. It's so hard to read through all the 10 different responses. Why not have an AI model, take those 10 responses and give us the consensus of that? Like, what's the summary? If 8 of those 10 models agree on something, I want to know which of these models agree, which 2 models disagree, and what do they disagree about. So this feature does exactly that. We also added a super fiesta mode, where in a single chat, you can switch between different AI models. When you send your question, your prompt to the AI, our proprietary algorithm decides which AI this question should go to. So in a single chat, you can switch between Gemini, Claude, ChatGPT, and always have the best answer. So we built a light mode. We added avatars. And because of all this, because of whatever we worked on, today, AI Fiesta has more than 70,000 paid subscribers. We We did more than 2 million, 2.5 million in revenue since 4 months of launching. And today, we provide more than 10 different AI providers, 35 different AI models in one place to get you the best answer always. And what's next is we are building even more. We are adding a dedicated study mode. We are going to add a dedicated image mode, so all the different top image generation models can be at one place. But more importantly than this, we are thinking of expanding internationally now because this product was only available to the Indian audience till now. So for that, what better opportunity than the 1 Billion Summit? If any of you is interested in partnering with us, please scan this QR code and you can sign up as an affiliate. We offer 25%